One of the cool things about video games is that no matter how much we think we understand them, we always discover new mechanics within the game as time goes on. The mechanic that I want to talk about today is animation canceling with flash. This is where champions like Shen, Gragas, and Vi can extend their gap closers by flashing in the middle of them. Shen, Gragas, and Vi are the most common examples, but almost every champion in the game can abuse this mechanic. I won't go over every single champion in this video, but I'll give you all some examples so you can test it on your own. The first group of champions I want to talk about are the ones that can extend their gap closers with flash. This is by far the most common form of animation canceling, but there are still champions capable of abusing this mechanic that people don't know about. As far as I know, there are 9 champions that are capable of it. Ahri, Corki, Fizz, Gragas, Hecarim, Jarvan, Sejuani, Shen, Tryndamere, and Vi. There are multiple reasons why this trick is useful. Firstly, it makes the gap closer essentially unavoidable because flash is instantaneous. It's easy to flash out of Shen's taunt, but it becomes much harder when he flashes on top of you. Second, it allows abilities that go through targets to hit more targets than usual. For example, if 2 targets aren't in line with each other, Jarvan, Shen, and Tryndamere can flash to hit the second target. This is especially important on Jarvan and Shen because they have crowd control attached to their abilities. Third, it allows you to flash after your opponent if they flash out of your ability. Jarvan's Flag and Drag combo and Fizz's Playful Trickster are 2 abilities that are constantly flashed out of. With this trick, you're able to react to your opponent's flash with your own flash to prevent them from avoiding your gap closer. Before we move on to the next set of examples, I just want to touch on Corki and Hecarim quickly because both their gap closers work the same way. Both of them have 2 different spell instances. Corki has himself in the Fire Trail, and Hecarim has himself in the Horse Spirits. What this means for Corki is that you can flash during his Valkyrie and the Fire Trail will still continue to the max range. What this means for Hecarim is that you can redirect the fear portion of the ultimate, but not the damage portion. So, for example, you can use your ultimate in one area to do damage and flash to fear the important target. Corki's Valkyrie is by far the most useless form of animation canceling in this set of examples, but I guess it could make for some pretty funny kills. The second set of examples I want to talk about are AoE abilities that are emitted from the champion itself. Some examples of this are Lee Sin's Tempest, Amumu's Curse of the Sad Mummy, Galio's Idol Durand, and others. I'm not going to bother going through all the examples because there are a lot of them, but I do want to talk about why the trick is useful with these abilities. If you've ever played Amumu and had someone flash out of your ultimate and you flash on them, this is the solution to that problem. Almost every ability like this has a considerable amount of startup frames and you're able to cancel those startup frames with flash. What this means is that you can start casting the ability, flash on top of who you want to hit, and the ability will finish casting where you flashed, giving the enemy less time to react to your flash. Check out this clip from Worlds. You can see Bengi cast Tempest before he flashes, and Galek doesn't have enough time to react with his own flash, even though he flashes almost instantaneously. You can really see the difference when you watch these 2 clips side by side. The third set of examples I want to talk about are skill shots that have a considerable amount of startup frames. Some examples are Rumble's Electro Harpoon, Leona's Zenith Blade, and Graves' Buckshot. The idea is the same as the previous example. Casting the ability before you flash reduces the amount of time that the enemy can flash out of your ability. This is extremely useful on Leona, especially because her Zenith Blade is very easy to dodge normally, and this trick makes it significantly harder to dodge. This doesn't work with every skill shot in the game, so you'll have to do some testing on your own to figure out what does and doesn't work. The fourth set of examples I want to talk about are abilities that self-inflict mini stuns that can be interrupted with flash. This is by far the least influential form of animation canceling, but it's still useful in some situations. Let me give you one simple example. You're chasing someone on Gangplank and you want the speed bonus from Raise Morale, but you don't want to stop yourself from moving. So you cast Raise Morale and then flash during the mini stun animation frames and effectively ignore the mini stun. This also works on things like Rumble's Equalizer. Rumble's Equalizer induces a massive stun on himself during the cast, and you can significantly reduce the amount of time you're stunned by flashing during the animation. This can be useful when you're running away or when you're chasing someone down. The last thing I want to mention is something that's a bit unique. You can cancel the startup frames of Lee Sin's ultimate to flash behind your opponent and knock them in the opposite direction. This is incredibly useful because it reduces the window in which your opponent can counter with his own flash. I didn't discover this myself and I don't want to take credit for it, so if you want to see the original video, please go check out Shake Drizzle's video. I've been meaning to make this video for a long time and finally got to doing it, so I hope you all learned something new from this. If Riot doesn't fix this, I foresee everyone abusing these mechanics at a high level of play. As we saw in the clip of Worlds, top tier players are already figuring these things out, and well, this video may expedite the process as well. I hope Riot doesn't fix it because I think it adds a level of depth to the game that makes things more interesting, but we'll see what happens. If you like this video, make sure to let me know in the comment section below or tweet at me at @Caneypoo. As always, thank you all for watching, good luck in your games, and I'll see you all next time.